Hey, this is Matt once again. What about in the videos? Another paid request this time from Arthur. Thank you so much for that, man. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2018 film Unfriended Dark Web, which I had seen this film before, wasn't a fan of it then, still not a fan of it now. Like I said, if anyone has any type of request, feel free to send it, and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. Now, it's one of those screen sharing movies, which was done in Unfriended. There was a film called Open Windows Elijah Wood was in. Later on, you had Searching and Missing, which I think are the best films to do the screen sharing bits. Searching being the best, but Missing I actually did like. Although the ending was a bit wonky, I still liked Missing. Now, the first Unfriended I did not mind. It did have its issues, but I didn't mind it because while the characters were unlikable, I get what they were going for. I thought it was an interesting take on being in the shoes of bullies and cyberbullying. In a weird way, you see how bullies and people who are fake personas unravel their own dealings, their own mistakes get thrust into their faces, and I do wish that tis about a ghost that haunts this group because she was the victim of cyberbullying. They should have made her more innocent. I think her being just as much of a bull. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want. Maybe they wanted to have the cyberbullying aspect, but at the same time, in a way, it's like, well, we don't want to make an innocent victim seem like they would murder even as a ghost, because that would be an infraction to those victims. So how would be like a bully eating up the other bullies? I guess I could kind of see that. I don't know, I'm going all off tangent, but I thought it was an interesting take on that. And the screen sharing was the first I had seen it, and I appreciate trying to do something different with the format. With the amount of movies I watch and I've seen in my life, when someone tries to be a bit unique, doesn't mean it'll always be successful, but to appreciate the effort. And that's why Unfriended intrigued me, and overall I did like, because despite some nitpicks here and there. Unfriended Dark Web, number one, I don't think they utilized the screen sharing as much of a variety as it seemed Unfriended 1 did. Where Unfriended 1, it seemed like we were doing a lot more with going to different pages and different sites, and this does a little bit of it, but I just felt like Unfriended did it more. And we're supposed to like these characters, and yet we don't. I'm like, at least Unfriended 1, we're not supposed to like the characters, because we found out they're all piece of shit bullies. Here, we're supposed to like these characters, and it's like, I don't know if that's really the right call, because I didn't really, at the very least, the lead guy I did not like, Matthias. I'm like, this guy's a fucking moron of a character. God. So it starts with a screen share where someone's trying to guess the password of this laptop until ultimately they look up at the user that says question mark, and then they go, oh, question mark. Oh, they got in. To jump ahead, you find out this guy who is trying to talk to his deaf girlfriend has this program I've never heard of, so you can let me know if this is a real program where you could talk, it'll put the words, and then if you made a series of videos, it'll do all these sign language to talk to someone. Now I'm thinking, wow, that's actually some nice work to put into. And the girlfriend's not appreciative, so she comes off as bitchy. Deaf bitchy, but bitchy nonetheless. I could say it, she can't hear me. that character. You deaf, you bitch. So it just comes off as bitchy. Like, this guy, this is more work than a lot of people put into. Trust me. But whatever. Again, didn't know this type of program exists. But if it does, okay. And then the girlfriend doesn't appreciate it. I'm like, wow. Thank you, ma'am. So they have a fight because she's being douchey. And then he's with his other friends. And there's like a lesbian couple. And there's one girl who's like a non-entity. She barely does anything. And then two guys. And they're playing Cards Against Humanity. Some people may go, what is Cards Against Humanity? Too long to get into, just look it up. It is a real card game. And they try to talk in these like fake, lame accents to be funny during this bit, which didn't work. But our lead, which we see is screen, he keeps getting these messages on Facebook. And he's like, what's going on? You come to find out later, this is a laptop computer that was left at a lost and found at a cafe. He picked it up. Because he's too lazy to just go out to a fucking pawn shop and buy one. Not getting a goddamn laptop from a fucking lost and found. Get it from a fucking pawn shop if you're that goddamn cheap. I'm looking at your space in your room. Sell a couple shit, you could get it. You cheap fuck. And so these messages show up meant for this guy named Chiron or Nora. I should say Nora C. is really for that person. And he keeps seeing it, he keeps canceling it, he keeps logging back into his own Facebook. Then he comes to find out some weird stuff's happening. And he talks to one of his friends. He's like, well, maybe the hard drive, maybe it's full. Which it is, but it's files he can't open. Then when he does open, there's a lot of videos. Kind of find out. Videos of people being watched, people being seen, people being located. Okay, if you have a laptop computer, right? You open it up. You click on 3 videos and you go, that person's being watched, that person's being watched, that person's being watched. Before you even get to the video where a person's stuck in a damn barrel, like they were Charlie Sheen in Men at Work, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going to the cops. Hey, cop, I found this lost and found. It was lost and found. I shouldn't have taken it. Look, this is what the fuck I found. What would have happened to the bad guy's game then if this guy acted any amount of common sense? That's the problem, is that when at the end of the day, spoiler alert, you find out this is a whole cult conglomeration of people that thankfully these characters did the wrong thing every single time, did the exact wrong thing that needed to be done for their game night that they have fun with for their new victims. Because they left the laptop waiting for someone to pick it up, and then as soon as they start going, boom, hone into who you are, who your friends are, and so forth. And there's so many fucking red flags, these weird Facebook messages. I find it funny, at one point they get kicked off Skype, and they come back on, and no one questions, what happened? How come we were kicked off Skype? No one questions it. Back in the day, me and my friends would go on Skype, and if we got cut off, we would come back and go, what the fuck happened? Even on StreamYard. If we come back and be like, oh, well, this happens. And then for steers, like at one point, in order to go to the dark web, which the fucking character says dark net. They didn't say dark web. I know it's the same difference, but it's the fucking title of your movie, dude. At least let him say the dark web and not the dark net. I know it's not a big deal, but it's like, come on, dude. It's the name of the fucking movie. At least it's not called Unfriended Dark Net. It's called Unfriended Dark Web. It's the same thing. But I'm just saying, like, let's call the fucking title then. This is Dark Net. I find it funny that in order to get into it, there's like a Minecraft looking animation of going down a river. And then you're talking to people named Chiron, some meaning about death and the river Styx and some shit. And not the band Styx. It's like a cult of people. But then when it's super serious, you see the same animation again of a boat going down the river, but it's high def this time. You know shit's serious because it's high def now. Look into my eye. It's high def. Have they ever done a movie called High Def? But it's DEAF. I mean, DEATH. Or DEAF. That'd be a drama. High Def. And a musician that becomes deaf. Well, they did a movie like that. It's a decent movie. It's not called that, but. Or High Death. DEATH. Have you ever done High Death? Death by Stereo. So by this point, the other friends are like, what's up? Share your screen. He's doing it. And they're all watching this stuff. Now, if one of my friends is on the goddamn dark web and this creepy shit, I'd be like, nope, I'm gone. You shut down the computer. Or stop the shit, turn it off, turn it to the cops, do whatever the fuck. But no. And even one of the friends is talking about, oh, you know, they could get into your Wi-Fi, these hackers, and oh, that's Bitcoin, and in Bitcoin, that's $10 million in Bitcoin. And the message saying, did it come through? The money, did it come through? Because I want you to do this. Which is like putting a drill in someone's head, putting a hole in someone's head with a drill. Right then and there, laptop goes like this. I picked it up. I go to the cops. If they don't believe the story, I'm like, then keep the fucking laptop. You do whatever you want. I don't trust the shit. I have friends that saw it. It was screen shared. Okay, I don't have evidence. Well, I don't want the shit anymore. At least I told you. I told you, so if something happens to me, you know something will happen. I don't give you details, so if something never happens to me or my friends, which is this, and this, if anything happens to them and me, then you know. And no one's half the battle. But no one does that. And here's the thing, like, I would prefer if this was more of a thriller than a horror film. Because horror is just people doing stupid fucking things, and yes, there are plenty of films I like where people have not done the smartest things. And yes, I know. If you really think about it, if you're writing realistically, you would have people do dumb stuff because there's a lot of dumb people in the world that do a lot of dumb shit. You know them, I know them, or maybe I've been one of them, and you've been one of them. There's a lot of people that do not do the most common sense thing. Trust me, there's a shitload part of the population. You go on YouTube and just look up stupid shit. What stupid shit people do. Mistakes they do. People yelling at bears, leave that alone, it's not yours. Just the dumbest shit. Because we're in the fucking era of idiocracy. So, that's the tough thing about a writer. I'm not a writer, but I would assume anyone who's out there as a writer. When you write a movie, do you have to write in that characters are dumb because there's a lot of stupid people in real life? And that's more realistic, or a lot. But the reason being is because it's easier to make the plot flow if they do something stupid, because it makes it easier to get to the drama or the danger or the turmoil. But still, it makes me not like the characters, at least the main ones, like some of them, like the lesbian couple. Hadn't really no issues with them. They're the ones that want to call the cops. The acting was fine. There's the one guy who, I swear I've seen him in other stuff. I can't remember where, though. Where he doesn't trust the government. I swear some of those actors I recognize. I don't know where from, though. There's like a guy who knows a lot about computers. He wears glasses. There's another guy who's a bit paranoid. Their acting's not the problem. Even their characters aren't really the problem. When I say I think it's just for the most part, they're inconsequential. It's the main guy. Because a lot of times he'll mute the chat and you'll mute them and we're going through his point of view, his actions, his stupidity. I mean, in fact, there's a point where the guy who says it's my laptop you have and kidnapped or killed his girlfriend's roommate and says if you tell your friends, if you, what does he say? No, actually he doesn't say that. He says if you shut down the computer, she dies. If your friends shut down the computer, she dies. If your friends call the cops, she dies. The guy never says if you tell them, she dies. And you would think, yeah, I'm going to tell them, don't call the cops, because they know what's going on based on the videos, and they need a reason why to not call the cops. The killer never says, don't tell them. And what does the guy do? He fucking lies to them. He fucking lies to his friends saying, none of it was real, it's part of a game. I'm like, wait a minute, even the fucking bad guy never said lie to your friends. Now maybe I misread it because the hacker is able to type a Facebook and go with a sound effect, which, okay, I did it. They could somehow delete their Facebook messages, but I didn't know it would be like a weird sound effect too. They'll type something. What'd they do? They fucking use the track. They use fucking beam. Hey Scotty, that beam, beam those fucking words up to the Enterprise. I don't fucking know. Why it needs a big sound effect, I don't fucking know. In case you're too stupid, I guess, to notice that they delete their own messages. So it makes the lead character even more stupid. Like you're lying to your friends, and you get your friends in deep shit by not telling them the truth. Again, all of these things, what if the main character had done left instead of right, up instead of down? Their game night of this cult, you find out, there's more than one, would have been ruined, would have been fucked up, would have been down the shitter. This has a lot of dumb decisions. This has a lot of dumb fucking decisions. And I was saying before, I wish there was more of a thriller where it was just one guy. And he's a hacker, but he's not Superman of hackers. He's a hacker and he's a killer, but it's a thriller where this group help each other. Like maybe it's a hacker who's hacked into that one computer, right? But unbeknownst to him, at least for a bit, the same time our friend is talking with his friends, and his friends can try to help him. Some get in danger, some don't, because it's one guy, he's not teleporting. And they work together to try to bring this hacker down. And it's like, you don't know who you're messing with. I could do a lot. Don't mess with me. And add like a thriller. Add like... I mean, Population Zero was more of a drama. But that's a movie that's found footage, but not really. It's done like a documentary. Or some of those other movies. And I don't know. Thriller means... is more about working out the problem and trying to be logical and a bit more for suspense. And then the lead guy does something where I get his girlfriend, the killer, the one bad guy is saying, listen dude, at one point he unmasks himself once he's in the more high def, not the Minecraft version, but the more high def version of the River Styx with the other Charons, which is North spelled backwards, Charon. And the guy unmasks like, listen, if they find out I'm dead, so blah 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 blah, go tell them blah blah blah, and here's the message. And I need to get that fucking laptop. And I don't know, man. I just. Oh, his. Your girlfriend, tell your girlfriend to come to you. I'm gonna follow her. If you warn anybody, I'm gonna go up and kill her. And then that way, I'll meet you and we'll have a trade. I'll give you the girlfriend, and you give me the laptop. I'm like, well, that ain't. If you see enough of these movies, you know that's not gonna fucking happen. But I was saying, there's a point where the fucking lead guy takes the 10 million. Takes the 10 million Bitcoin dollars. And fucking takes it and steals it. I did that to make sure that he won't do this. And even the friend goes, do you really think he's gonna fucking just let you go? That you give the fucking computer? And he would still just let you go? More likely, and he didn't say this, but I'm saying this, he would get your girlfriend with a knife and go, give me the money, I'm gonna slit her throat. You give me the money back? You dead. You dead. And spoiler alert, the people didn't kill one by one. The lady, who is pretty much a non-entity, is found dead on the side of the road as if she jumped. Once he finally tells his friends the truth, one girl goes out to the fucking subway. What if she never did? One of the lesbian couple. What if she stayed there with her friend? And then go to the subway? Would these guys be able to take on these two girls at the same time? And then you see footage where apparently they tell the other girl, listen, either your girlfriend or your mother, who is in the hospital on her last legs, make your choice. Understandably, she said, I'm not choosing either, because how you don't choose between your mother and the woman you know, two people you love. Well, they kill both. But they killed the lady by throwing her into a subway. What if she maneuvered and threw the motherfucker to the subway? Kicked him in the nuts and sayonara. How would these bad guys then deal with their fucking game? Because wouldn't she then just run to the fucking cops or something? The one guy... There's a 911 call that they made, and they edited this thing of what this guy had said to make him look like a terrorist or whatever. So there's going to be a swatting incident. And the guy puts his hands up. He doesn't go on the ground. He gets shot up. Which I guess wouldn't have mattered, because at the end you find out, I guess the cop was with, like, one of them. So did they really do a 911 call, or did they fake it, or did they call someone and one of their own was pretend to be a 911 operator? Which, why even go through that then? Like, why even go through the whole 911... That's the thing. Why go through the whole 911 operator faking disturbance and cops come in and shoot if the cop is just one of the fucking bad guys anyway? Why even do that in the first place? Why not just the guy comes in? There you go. That's what they do with the other guy with the glasses. They just knock him up and then they hang them and they write a fake note. Suicide note. I guess, well, we're already doing that. We can't do the same thing to this guy as well. I mean... And yeah, you find out it was all planned. The laptop was left there on purpose for someone to find it, and then whoever finds it, that's the game we don't play. And then apparently this film had like 3 endings. One was like the lead guy was buried and left to die. One was like he gave the money back and then they let him live, which I guess would have been the happier ending. But at the same time, you would think, why the fuck would these people let him live? with the operation they have, they probably don't give a fuck about this 10 million bit. That probably isn't even real anyway, or they could probably, I don't know, maybe it's chump change, I don't know. But it's like, well, why would they let you live by doing it? So it would have been a happier ending, but it would not have made any sense. And then this one, his girlfriend gets taken. The other lady of the lesbian couple, she wakes up and she's got a hole in her head. And then the guy on the bicycle, our lead guy, is staring at a camera on his bicycle. And then the van just goes. Now, forgive me for asking, are vans silent? Do you have a silent mode that I don't know about? Where if you're in the middle of an area where there's no one around, there's no noise, no traffic, dead of night, pretty silent. Do vans that are going like 40 miles an hour, do they have a silent mode? If so, where can I find these? Because that seems like a hell of an investment. That you could not hear a fucking giant van going 40, 50 miles an hour. Vroom. Nope, just. I'm like, silent. Fucking silent. The silent assassin of vans. So just a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. A lot of stuff that could have easily been changed and fucked up the bad guy's plan. That literally these people had to act as perfectly as the bad guys wanted them to do for their plan to succeed. It just got ridiculous, like a Saw movie. It's like one of those Saw films where, thank God, Tobin Bell's character knew that this person and this person and this person and this person and this person were all act the exact way he wants to. Because if any one of them deviated, it'd be a whole new ball game. But I'm like, come on, man. And the lead guy just seemed like a fucking idiot character. And then the deaf lady, there's no development. She can't even talk. She's deaf and mute, and I swear there's a bit where he's like trying to yell for her, but it's like, she's deaf, dude. You try. Maybe that didn't happen, but I swear there was a moment. Maybe not. Maybe not. I know there are people like this movie. It's just like a 6 out of 10 IMDb. 6.0. I disagree. I thought it was boring. The stream thing is an interesting prospect, but done much better in searching and in missing. And that's what I mean by thrillers. Like the way, I was mentioning other movies, like Searching and Missing. Perfect examples of working them into thrillers. That even though Missing has some wonkiness in the third act, I still found them a bit smarter, a bit more interesting, a bit more intriguing, a bit more pulling me into the story compared to a movie like this. Although I like this still more than that piece of shit one, Host, which I thought was that was an overrated fucking movie. Oh, it's so great. What's so great about it? The Zoom horror movie, what the fuck. I still find this better than that, because that movie seemed. This one, there's promise, because the dark web is a very horrific, real thing. Like all this shady shit underneath, and the way the hackers can control the narrative and manipulate and get into all your security and watch you. And I remember there's these video games that were made that people played a few years ago called Welcome to the Game 1 and 2. Kind of taps into that, where you visit the dark web and then people could find you and maybe want to hurt you. That aspect definitely has a lot of potential for horror. Just the way it was accomplished here, I don't know, wasn't that scary, wasn't that suspenseful, and just seemed like a lot of bonehead decisions, especially from the lead guy. Again, silent vans and all this other shit. ever did. That's just me, though. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.